Hi everyone, so today we're going to be looking at energy changes. So there are two main energy changes which we look at. The first one is exothermic, and then we also have endothermic. So let's start with exothermic. So exothermic is a process that gives out heat energy into surroundings. So let's look at the graph here, which is really important that you know this. So on the x-axis we have the reaction progress, and on the y-axis we have potential energy. So this shows our heat energy. So we start with H1, and H1 is the energy of the reactants. So the energy increases a little bit until it reaches a maximum point, and then it decreases down to H2, which is the energy of the products. So this energy released, what is it? So it's the energy released when new bonds are formed. And the activation energy is the energy needed to break bonds. So what we need to do is find the difference between the energy of the product and energy of the reactants. So the change in energy is H2 minus H1, but we get a negative change, as you can see, because H2 is less than H1. Therefore, the energy required to break the bonds is less than the energy released. As we can see over here, the energy released is all of this, and the activation energy, which is needed to break the chemical bonds, is only this. Therefore, we get an exothermic reaction and release energy out into surroundings. Now let's look at endothermic. So what is endothermic? Endothermic takes in heat energy from the surroundings. So that is the process. So we have a very similar graph, but however, we start with a lower energy for our reactants and end up with a higher energy for our products. So this over here is the activation energy, which again is the energy needed to break bonds. And then this is the energy released, which is the energy released when new bonds are formed. So let's look over here. So when we do H2 minus H1, we can see this time we're going to get a positive difference because H2 is greater than H1. So this is our difference over here in energy. Therefore, the energy required to break bonds is greater than the energy released. Therefore, we get an endothermic reaction because we are taking in heat energy overall. So basically, in summary, an exothermic reaction is energy released overall, and an endothermic reaction is when energy is gained overall. So it is really important that you know these graphs, and I hope this makes more sense now.